Okay, welcome everyone. I decided to go for a walk and attach this camera and tell you all the naked truth, how they scam you in the insurance business. If you're new, especially brand new insurance agent, I'll tell you how you will be scammed, both by the system, meaning those who sell you the leads, the bogus leads, insurance leads, and your upline or your supervisors or your managers, how they make money off of you as well. You'll never hear this anywhere else, so make notes, So this camera is attached to wherever I'm going, wherever I'm headed. It's gonna just basically give me hands-free operation so I could enjoy my walk, exercise, get some fresh air, and share with you all the secrets, the darkest secrets of the insurance field, of the financial field in general. So back when I started many years ago, when I first got licensed for life and health and securities, we didn't have any leads. You had to use your own. We had these green cards. They had to fill out your family members, circle of friends. And then once you use them up, you basically had to go out and kind of develop your own market. You had to knock on doors. You had to do whatever you had to do. We didn't have cell phones at that time. You had to basically stop by a payphone to make a phone call to let somebody know you're running late. So anyway, today we have leads. Everybody's spoiled. Today we have leads. Today we have all kinds of technologically advanced ways of making your life a little bit easier. But this is where the problem lies. 99.999% of all those lead generation companies are a scam. I'm going to prove it to you because I've used them all. And none of them really performed, except there's one company I'm testing right now. I'm going to let you know how they perform. The one company that's relatively seems to be a legitimate company out of Canada. It's $55 per lead or so, but they're not sure how to let the prospect know that we're going to call them. We meaning the advisors or the agents. Anyway, it's a small technicality. I'm going to let you know how that's going to pan out. But here is the scam. I'm going to name a few companies so that you know. So Smart Financial out of California, they hire these kind of a very eloquent people who are going to convince. That's normally what they do. Because they don't have really a product. What they have is they have a database of everyone in the United States of America and Canada. It's in digital format, so it doesn't cost them any money. And they simply repackage it. So they sell it like they tell you, we got some fresh leads. Give me $30 per lead. So they charge you put it on plastic, they charge you $3 grand, $2 grand, $500. Doesn't make any difference how much. And then they basically sell you this digital material. So it's total garbage. They already had it in their possession. They just basically repackage it. And the same even with live transfers. Yes, you heard me right. You might say, well, how could this be? Well, they have a way of finagling that situation too. I'm going to tell you in a minute. You might say, well, live transfer can be a scam. It is. I've used them too. I paid $65. Company out of Austin, Texas. And the $10 extra, normally it's $55, was for what's called a knockout question. So you know for sure that the prospect is 100% interested in talking to you about your financial products that you sell. And as it turned out, they never even asked a knockout question, such as, are you ready to do business? Are you ready for me to connect you with a advisor right now? They're supposed to say yes, and only then there would be a chance. They never asked that question, number one. Number two, I finally figured out how they got those leads. So what they do is they at random, they send a text message to people. And people respond because naturally most human beings are very curious and they say, who is this? And then they basically finagle them there. They scam them right there and say, oh, we have a little coupon for you. Walmart coupon, Target coupon. Just, I'll call you in a minute to give you more information. Is that okay? And they said yes. Or in fact, sometimes those prospects call into the call center themselves. And those agents are trained to answer and immediately take them to the next phase. So they BS them all the way, and then within 5 minutes they transfer them to you, meaning you the advisor or the agent. And then you deal with them and nothing happens. So why? Because those people most of them are on welfare. They usually select the low-income people, welfare. They're on drugs. I don't know how those people live on $600 a month. That's the welfare check, but that's what you're gonna get. And they're on like 30 different medications. They're out of their mind. They're fucked out of their mind, basically. They can't even complete a sentence. You understand? And their lives are disaster zones. Nothing is working. Everything is falling apart. And so those are the clients you're going to deal. And that's if you order or if you buy those final expense leads. Just to have a conversation it's impossible to have a conversation. So anyway, that's the scam. So I encourage you to put down below the video all your experiences, so the world will know how you got scammed, if you got scammed. But I want you to know this. The best way, here's a solution. So you might say, well, what do we do then? If you're a new agent, you might ask yourself, so then what's the solution? Well, I'm going to tell you. If you know how to place those ads on Facebook, you could just do it yourself. It will cost you $2 per lead. That's right. I have about 10 different sources right now that I'm buying from. Because they're all fucking scammers. You have to pick your battles. You have to choose and pick and kind of decide. I think I'm going to stick to that with that Canadian company eventually. I'm going to let you know how they do. But they seem to be the most honest people on the block. So anyway, so what you do is you just post your own ads on Facebook, and that will generate some interest. People will call you, and then you just basically you talk to them about what you want to do, and it's the best way. It's $2. You understand? So whether you pay $2 per lead, $5 per lead, or $50 per lead, it's the same garbage. Meaning, it's just a phone number. You have to have some skill how to convert it. If you don't know how to convert it, it doesn't make any difference what you have. Whether you get free leads or $50 leads, you won't be able to convert it. But the point is, at least you will not be paying those scammers, $50 per lead or $10 per lead. So anyway, that's my story of the day. This is almost forgot. I wanted to do a review of this company so that you will be warned. So the name of the company is Arturo Johnson Consulting. So what this guy does, he teamed up, he's like a marketer, supposedly a former insurance agent, but he teamed up with this actor named Earl Hall. So normally they try to sell you on $2,500, $3,000 package. That's what they normally sell, $3,000, maybe more, depending on, they want to know how much you make, what's in it for you, So they have a bunch of Filipinos working for them. You call the office, there's nobody there. They're too busy. They're not interested in talking to you. So they got me on this $495 special, $497 special. And they promised me the moon and everything. Basically, you're going to be part of this circle, part of this circle. Teamwork, we're going to help you build this, build that. All kinds of promises on the screen, which I took a picture of. So you can see what they promise you. So you can see for yourself. I got nothing, zero. What I got is a bunch of videos stitched together in a little program called Kajabi, I believe, is the platform that they use. Kajabi is just an educational platform that anybody could post some videos and create a course. And there were 2 videos that are missing. The document was missing there. I had to email the support. And they told me that those videos were missing on purpose. Those idiots, Filipino idiots, they just type you back and say, oh, we did this. We want to let you know about this one, that they left those videos out on purpose. Like, what the fuck, motherfucker? I keep telling you about your problems so you could fix them right away. In America, you fix them right away, right? if you forgot to upload a video, you just say, sorry, we apologized. We apologize, we're gonna upload the video immediately. They say, no, the author, Earl, deliberately omitted that video, those 2 videos. So they were blanks, basically, which is a bunch of nonsense. They forgot the PDF file that they're supposed to provide you with as far as using it as a template. It never came. So, I mean, they had, anyway, long story short, multiple problems. You get 0 in return. $497, no communication. I tried calling their 615 number. There's no way to get hold of anybody. I tried to email Earl Hall himself multiple times, no response. So what is it? It's just a waste of time, because see, those videos that were there on that platform, there were Zoom calls that were recorded. Half of them were Zoom calls recorded with these sort of guinea pigs, meaning those people who are insurance agents that are new, and he was promising this like a free overview. So he recorded a free overview over Zoom, then he placed it inside this program that he said charge it, he charged what, $3,000, and now it's $497. Total bullshit, man. It's a complete waste of time and money and energy. And every single company is like that, because once they package it and they sell it to the masses, they could be making $100,000 easily plus per month, and there's only a couple of guys in the office. They can't support you. So you have to understand, unless it's a flawless system, which there is none that I know of, you will be wasting your money, wasting your time, being frustrated. So this purpose of this channel is to expose all scams in the financial field: insurance, securities, any kind of a lead generation company or person that sells this bullshit leads. Obviously we're going to expose this company or a person. So that's why I'm going to be talking like this while I'm walking, exercising, getting some fresh air. I am encouraging you to look into advertising on Facebook yourself instead of wasting your money and energy on those lead generation companies, and then post below your experience of you being scammed if you feel like you didn't get anywhere. Oh, almost forgot how managers will scam you at your own FMO or your organization. This is how they do it. I'm not going to name this particular company because they're going to sue me immediately. But what they do is, it's a very large company out of, I'm not even going to name the state because it's a very large company. So, and they specialize in a very specific niche market in the insurance field, life insurance. But so here's what they do. They hire you. They tell you they're going to give you free leads. You hear me? Free leads. Remember this. Free leads. You ask them, do you have free leads for me? Yes. So that's covered, you think. You have to have your license, free leads. They do go through some training, and it's a pretty robust training, meaning they want you to know how to handle a client. But here's where the rubber meets the road, meaning they're going to scam you too. So first of all, they're going to give you some free leads, which are 2 years old, sometimes 3 years old, just for you to practice on. Notice, they fulfill the promise, and this is where the scam comes. So remember, those managers, they're smooth, silver-tongued devils. They talk when they talk. You would never know when they gonna pull money out of your wallet. You will never know. Here's the proof. So then he's okay. The manager will tell you, hey, he's gonna just compliment you, right? I think you're doing great, man. Why don't you just spend your next round is when you really need to sort of put your faith to the test. Why don't you spend $36 per lead? So they want you to spend, like at least $700 or more, and then see what happens. Because I really think you got it this time. Remember, if you were able to talk to those people on the free leads that are 3 years old, but with the real deal, with the real leads, you're gonna have some tangible success. And now get this. So this is what happens. He gets you on the call. Now you might say, why is he so involved in this? He gets you on a call with the corporate office, the one that I'm not going to name because they're going to sue me immediately. So you two, the three of you, are talking to someone at the home office. The home office is asking you, do you really want to spend this much money? With the manager on the phone call with you in a conference call, you say yes. So you give them your credit card number. They charge your credit card number, and the scam is this. Those leads that you're going to get are exactly the same like the free ones. You understand? You call them, it's the same result. There is no magic sort of a power that you just call them and they're going to all answer. It's the same type of leads. You call them, there's no answer, phone lines are disconnected, whatever. It's the same bullshit leads. And the problem there is the manager gets half of the money goes to him. So they divvy up the profits. So let's say they make, remember, those leads are free because it's a digital format, right? It's digital, meaning there is no storage. Nobody uses a shovel out in the field, you know, to dig some ditches. So there's no effort involved. It already exists. They got everybody's 340 million people's phone numbers, addresses, and information. So the core they have in their database. It's in digital format, zeros and ones. So they classify this data, and what they do is they give you just a few leads that you requested based on that database. So you think you got something, got nothing. You actually got nothing. You just wasted $700 or $1,000 of your money, or your credit card's company money. They're going to go after you once you don't pay. The point is this: the manager is a conflict of interest. He's getting paid. He's getting a cut for just BSing you into this world of you're going to make some money out of the real leads, not the 3-year-old leads, but the fresh leads. They call them fresh leads. They're never fresh. It's the same identical result. So then you might say, well, if it's such a big scam, that who remains in the insurance field or in the financial field? Well, it's a legitimate question, because who does remain? Well, people who are very, very persistent and just superhuman, with a superhuman effort as far as communicating with other people. Those are so in other words, if you're not it, you ain't gonna stay in the business. They're gonna take all of your money, squeeze every bit that you got, everything. It's like a lemon, and then once you squeeze like a lemon, they're gonna throw you on a dump, basically put you in the trash can, compact you, and send you into that facility, the recycling facility. And then they have a long line of naive people like you, the newbies, you know, the novices. They think they're going to make it. No, you're never going to be able to make it unless you got superhuman ability to talk to people on the phone and then in person. You have to be confident, you have to have goals, you have to be very dedicated, you have to work very hard and long hours. This is not you can't do this part-time in the financial field. You can't. It's just not possible, because you have to be in that zone. In order to be in that zone, you have to spend all of your energy and time in it. So long story short, how do you get into the fucking industry? You can't. You have to be introduced into it. I was introduced into it many years ago. As I told you, I was a sophomore in college or a freshman in college. I already got sucked into the industry. But it was an introduction, somebody that I knew. You understand how the system works? And he took me under his wing and showed me around, drove me around, showed me how the system worked and how to talk to clients. When I was in college, he was already grooming me for that line of work. If you think you can just walk into it and just start closing deals, you're delusional. It ain't gonna happen. I'm just being honest. This channel is about honesty, because when I see this bullshit motherfuckers taking your money and then lying to you openly about those stupid leads, I said enough is fucking enough, man. I gotta open up, no restrictions, no censorship. I'm gonna speak my heart, because I don't want you to you're losing your money and then being fed this false hope that you're gonna be a millionaire once you get into this sort of a cozy office space. It's not gonna happen, folks. Again, all of those circumstances must be in place. You have to be introduced into the field. Somebody really has to take their time and energy to want to sort of help you start in the field. And so maybe I'll be sharing with you some of those tips, because I have plenty of experience. But the point is, at this point, I'd like to expose those cheating motherfuckers who are trying to take your money Even on the corporate level, remember I didn't mention that one company, but even on that level, it's a large corporate structure. But even the managers who are hiring and training you, even if they know you won't be able to produce, they take your money, they get a cut from the corporate office of that $1,000 that you spend. They get 500, let's say. If you spend $3,000, they're gonna love you. You know, they just made $1,500. So no matter what, they're ahead. They take your money, you lose your money, more than likely you will never make it, and they don't give a damn. And that's the problem that I'd like to bring to everybody's attention. You can't do that these days. If you have any morals. Now, if you don't have any morals, which they don't, that's why they do it. Because nobody has stopped them. And then we're gonna stop it. I'd like to build a community of people just like me who have who have had some bad experiences with those lead generation companies, who have some experience of knowing how the system works. And we're all gonna unite, and we're gonna crush the motherfuckers who take your money, meaning the scammers. And we will eventually influence those large corporate entities, those big corporations. They have 50,000 agents, they have a panel of lawyers. How we're going to crack that, I don't know. As soon as you bring up the name, they're going to be all over you because of the power they have. But because of us, if we're going to unite into some kind of a movement, I don't know. We might be able to bring about some change for the better, for the agents, for the new agents, to know the truth at least. You understand? Uncensored. Remember this. There's no point of being polite on this channel because I'm trying to vent my frustration over the fact that everybody's lying. Everybody's lying through their teeth. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Everybody's lying. From the managers to especially those lead generation companies, and they keep promising you a bunch of nonsense that you're going to be making these money and those leads are fresh and they're good. They're not fresh, and you're never ever going to be making any money unless somebody will train you, take you by the hand, and spend 6 months with you. I was driven in my manager's car to go to every single appointment for 6 months. You understand? He drove me. He showed me how to open the door, how to do this, how to open a conversation, it was a phenomenal trip. And then it took me 3 years to go to David Sandler's class every morning on Wednesday morning from 8 a.m. until noon. 3 years with David Sandler. Do you understand what sort of commitment you need to have to progress somewhere? And by the way, David Sandler is the most expensive sales trainer of the time in the 90s. So today his followers, who kind of organized the franchise that he had, the David Sandler Institute, Sales Institute, they're not the same. It's a lukewarm message. It's not the same what David Sandler had back in the day. So even that, it's not the same. So the message has been kind of weakened. Anyway, the point of me bringing up David Sandler is that on top of my training, immediate training at the office, I got my auxiliary training, additional training. And I paid almost, I think it was close to $200,000 for that training over the course of 3 years. 180, 185, something like that. So it takes money to get to a certain level. It takes money to get the necessary skills. It takes money to get to a certain level where you can actually approach, qualify, and close prospects. And this is what they don't tell you. They just do a webinar and they promise you that you're going to start closing deals, which you will never. That's not how it works. And don't believe them. Now, if you're an exceptional person, 1 out of a million, yes, you might be that very exceptional person. But most people out there are not. This is the message for those most people who are being scammed right now, left and right, including myself with those leads. You might say, how can I, the veteran in the field, be scammed? But it's not that I'm scammed. I'm paying the money and I'm trying to see, are they going to scam me or is this a real company? And when it's not a real company, I'm going to make a video about them. Like Arturo Johnson, I just told you. $3,000, they went down to $497. They blue skied me like they promised me the moon and everything. They're going to be part of this team, part of that team, part of I'm going to be, participating in this kind of they call them, whatever, how the most experienced salespeople, when they get together and they case study groups, and all of that was a lie. You couldn't even get hold of them by email or by telephone, much less get anything out of it. You just had some videos, 2 of them were missing, document was missing, and that's it. And the guy, by the way, this Earl Hall, he's a professional voice actor. So his most favorite thing in life is to appear on camera and to show off his skill. Like this, he comes across as this sort of remember, they're all actors, right? This sort of a caring individual. He's got these, teenage kids and this and that. He's like family man. So how could a family man scam you? Well, he's being used by Arturo Johnson. How do you scam? Well, it's a scale. Once you scale to a certain level, you can't support clients. If you have 2 clients, you might be able to get some, feedback from them. But if you have hundreds and hundreds of clients, there's not enough people for you to talk to, meaning they can't respond. So all you get is a bunch of nonsense videos about how to do this, how to do that. It's not. I mean, you could actually, again, there's plenty of videos. You watch a 10-minute long video, how to advertise on Facebook, and do it yourself. It will cost you $2 per lead. And that $2 lead will be just as fucked up as the $50 lead that I'm buying from all those companies. Yeah, I'm paying right now $50 per lead, and they're just no better. They're no better than the $2 lead. It will be the same. It's a phone number and a name. You call, it will be the same type of a conversation. If you know how to handle it, you'll be lucky with the $2 leads. If you don't, then, this is the purpose of the video, is to expose how the industry operates, all the ins and outs, and uncensored. I'm inviting you, if you've been scammed, to leave your story below this video, so people could, you can record a similar video, go for a walk, get some fresh air, record yourself, don't have to show your face, you could be just doing it the same way, attach the camera to your body or just hold it in your hand and tell your story, and then include a link so people could go to your story and watch your story, how I just shared with you how I got scammed. I mean, many, many, many times. So I have lots of stories to tell you. These are just the first ones that came to mind for today, you understand? So anyway, let's do something about it. Let's do something about this terrible situation with BS leads and uncensored. Vent all of our frustration, especially if you have stories about how the manager scammed you. Keep in mind, you probably don't want to mention the name of the company, because if it's a big enough company, they're going to go after you. There's all kinds of legal grounds for that. You're going to lose your house, your car, whatever. They're going to sue you for defamation. If you haven't been in that litigative process, you have no idea what power they have. So, but anyway, so the idea is to share the information. At least those youngsters, the young blood that are getting into the industry, they can be more or less protected from being scammed, because the saying forewarned is forearmed, meaning if you have the information, that's the power. And so anyway, I'm just kind of stuck. I'm trying to give you as much information as I can. I believe I've given you enough to tell you how on multiple levels you're being scammed every single day from those lead generation companies, from that Smart Financial from California, complete scam. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Again, they have a block of data. They pay like 1 cent for it per record. So most of them already have it. This is how you get into the industry. They have the data. You call them, you want some leads, they give you bullshit leads. It's from that block of data, okay? So enjoy this sunset, at least, this wonderful, beautiful autumn day. And then you pay for it. And then what happens is this. You pay for the bullshit leads, you get scammed, and then your manager, this is part 2 of the scam, encourages you to buy or spend $36 on those leads or more. I'm just using it. That's a specific number that they've used in a recent past. Once you encourage, you spend the money, you're done. He gets his cut, and then you just sort of, if you close, good for you. If you can't close those leads, what happens is that's a wasted money, and then you have to move on, get a job somewhere else. And it's very, very unfortunate, because if they had the right approach, if they took their time and really, really trained you, then you have a chance. Without the proper training, you don't. And they make you watch a few webinars, and that's not training. It's just, I told you, I was trained for 6 months by my manager. I was driven in his car to all the appointments. Then 3 years in Sandler training class. 3 years. Every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. until noon. That takes discipline. It takes financial resources. It takes dedication. Unless you're willing to do that, it's going to be, I would say, next to impossible for you to succeed in the financial field, be it insurance or if you sell other financial products. So that's my story of the day. So I want you not to give up, but to know the truth. I want you to have a clear understanding what it takes to succeed in a financial field without being scammed in the process by lead generation company, by those unscrupulous managers who will participate in that scam. It's really an unspoken scam. Imagine that corporate company would not, they're just giving it away as the splitting of that cost. They give it as an incentive. They don't, it's not a, how should I put it? It's not like a scam selling cocaine around the street corner. No, it's not on quite that level. The corporate entity, the corporate office, they give the managers an opportunity to be rewarded for all of the new recruits that they bring in. That's why they split that. That's why they split the cost of the leads with them. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my story of the day. Uncensored, honest to God truth about how the industry operates and how those scammers get away. This is how they get away. They're very smooth, very silver tongue, very skilled at getting you to kind of believe in yourself by feeding you with false hope. Even if you don't have any skills, they'll tell you you have phenomenal skills. That's what they'll tell you, because they're going to get half of that money that you're going to spend. And then they know that they'll never see you again. See, it's a calculated game. That's why they have to bring in more and more, recruit more agents or more advisors, future advisors. And I'm here to put an end to that by sharing this with you, the group, the new recruits, the new agents, new advisors. So this is it, folks. This is it. Enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this sort of a honest to God venting at the system that's broken. And we have more than just this part of our economy broken. But as far as specifically the insurance industry, the financial consulting advisory industry, it's all a big, gigantic scam. So if you used to sell cocaine on the street, that might be a nice transition for you. It's a little bit safer than, being kind of caught selling cocaine. But if you are a moral person, if you have some morals and you don't want to hurt anybody, you have to think twice before you get into this industry. Without proper training, without a source of properly generating those leads. Again, what is the solution? I just told you. You have to have a manager who would be willing to take you by the hand and teach you everything he knows. That's what happened to me. And ideally, if the person would sort of introduce you into the field, meaning that he would have a vested interest in you succeeding. Not so much, financially is going to get a cut. That's not what I mean. But just back in the day, this is used to be this thing called honor. When a man gives his word, he keeps his word. Today, so everybody lies. There's no such thing as honor among men. You understand? It's very sad. Even Mark Twain, also known as Samuel Clemens, who, by the way, most people don't know, he was born in Florida, Missouri. He said in 1856, when he visited London, he used to love to travel. And he loved London because this is where the honor was, a man's word was really kept. When he lived in a small town called Florida, Missouri, which is a small hamlet, Monroe County, just outside of St. Louis. And so he witnessed a lot of beatings, when some store patron would steal some loaf of bread to feed his family, and he would be caught and beaten to a pulp. And then the next day, everybody would participate. It's a small community of about 200 people there in Florida, Missouri. So, and then the next day, everybody would go to church and worship God. And so how could this be? I mean, instead of forgiving this man, he was beaten to a pulp. So he saw the contradiction. So Mark Twain was just like me. He didn't like this sort of a world of lies and all this nonsense. And so he spoke openly. They didn't have any technology. He wanted to speak. He had to speak to a group of people. So public speaking was the only way to share your ideas back then. Now, see, I'm sharing it with the world. What an advantage, isn't it? So that's why I encourage you to do the same. So Mark Twain in 1856, while visiting London, he said, when he was asked by these wonderful people in London, "Mr. Twain, please tell us, what is America all about? What was your experience?" He said, "America is like a petty shoplifter who would sell his mother if the price was right." Now imagine that. He has a sharp wit, and his description of a country, of the system at that time, that everything is for sale. Under this capitalistic system, everything is for sale. Even the relationships, meaning he was emphasizing the fact that the honor is gone, you understand? So even this shop, the store owner's sort of everything is for sale. In other words, he caught the guy who was stealing items from his store, and he wanted retribution. But if the tables were turned, he would probably sell his mother for a bigger price tag. My point is, everything is for sale. And everybody's cheating the system. Everybody's just, there's very, very little kind of honor and honesty. That was the point of Mark Twain's speech. So yeah, it's quite a summary of, it's quite a incredible summary of the place where he grew up. America is like a petty shoplifter who would sell his mother if the price was right. I hope this is not the case with all of us. I hope we still have, I'm trying to find like-minded people here who have honor, who, when you give your word, you're gonna keep it. You have honesty, you have goals, you have something to look forward to. I hope that this message will simply discourage the lead generation scammers, because once we'll expose them, that we know about their scams, all of their scams. I'm going to tell you more with each new message as I go for walks. I love to go for walks for fresh air. You will learn about all of them, because I've used them all. I know about all of their little tricks, because I've been scammed myself. Remember, it's not like, I pay the money and I learned through that process. I've learned how they scam me. And how they scam me, it's just an infinite topic here. I could be talking from here to Alaska, thousands of miles, and never be finished with my story. So at this point, I want to encourage you to just, if you've been scammed, share it on this channel. Record a video, put it below me with a link, below my video on the link. And this way we will have a community. This way we will be able to kind of control the scammers. They will not be able to do anything if everybody will be well informed how they do it, how they get to you, how they promise, and they never deliver anything. There's nothing there behind the promise. So anyway, this is my story. I think I've shared enough for today. Next time I will, if I think of a specific company, I'm going to expose them. If I could think of any specific company that does anything differently other than what I just shared with you, all of them pretty much operate the same way. The exception of Smart Financial from California, what they do is they just hire, I guess it's the same like with Earl Hall. He's just a smooth talker. When you see him on Arturo Johnson's sort of a presentation, is Earl just gets to sort of this emotional, like Shakespearean mode. And he goes like, well, to be or not to be kind of a rhetoric there, meaning I'm just this family man with a bunch of kids and I will never, we're the honest people. And then you get this 497 and then, my goodness, remember, 497 is not offered to you. They start with 3,000, 5,000, 3,000, then 2,000. And if you don't bite that particular offer, it's 497. And then you get these videos, like I told you, half of them were created during Zoom calls as a way of inviting new prospects. And none of those promises that I photographed, I took a picture of during their sales pitch, their automated sales pitch. None of that was materialized. I could not even get hold of them by phone or by email. And I'm a pretty persistent person. So imagine if we put an end to all of them and we all start doing our own lead generation on Facebook. It's not that complicated. It will cost you $2 per lead. What more can you wish for? Well, now you know. So not only that I'm exposing, I'm bringing the solutions. The potential solution is to do it yourself. Don't trust anybody, do it yourself, and you'll be responsible for generating your own $2 freshest leads you can imagine. I've done it. Yeah, I've done it. The question is, have I done it? Yes, I've done it myself. It's just a little bit of a different process. It's not like it's not like you buy, you get it, and then you call. It's just, you're involved in that process. So have I done it? Yes. Are those leads any better than the others? About the same. They just cost less. And you generate them yourself, so there is no scams of any kind. You're getting somebody to give up their phone number and their name, and then you call them. And after that, it's your skill how to convert them. So anyway, enough is enough to all those scams. Let's unite. Let's share our stories. Let's create this community. Next time you go for a walk, attach your camera to your torso or to your, just hold it in your hand and just share your story, how you got scammed, how you could help our community learn from your experience so we could all be a little bit wiser and not fall prey to this scheming petty shoplifters, using Mark Twain's terminology. So anyway, God bless you. Take care. I hope this video helped you, and be sure to share your story below this video. Just attach a link, create your own channel. Don't have to share your name. Don't have to tell the names of those companies who scammed you, unless you really want to, unless it's really just gotten to you, under your skin, to where you have to get it off your system, get it out of your system. And so we're here to help each other on this planet. We come into this world for only 5 minutes in the eyes of eternity, and then we're gone, like a vapor, in and out. We don't even know where we come from, where we're going. So we have much, much bigger problems to tackle other than these lead generation scams. So on this note, God bless you. Take care. I hope you learned something from this video.
I hate dialing. The people that sit there and they're like, dial day, right? It's dial day. And they're like so excited to be dialing for, 15 hours to get their 16 appointments or whatever, right? I'm like, bunch of crap, dude, because who the heck wants to be excited to be dialing for 15 hours to get, 15, 16 appointments, right? Or 12 hours, or how many hours you have to dial through, 1,000 dials or whatever it is, right? I've always hated dialing. I mean, I'm good at it. Obviously, you have to get good at dialing. It's part of the industry. It's part of the business. But, if you can find something where it will basically shift all of your focus on selling, right? Actually helping people get the insurance that they're requesting instead of spending, 2 days out of your week dialing or having to dial every single day. Like, who would not want that? I don't know anybody that would say, like, nah, I'd rather just sit and dial for 12 hours, 2 days out.